Since the last video I basically trimmed these edges down a little bit to get them in line with the neck itself, and same around here. We've still got probably about 1 millimetre on here and the shape of the top's not done, and there's a little more left on here, but we're kind of almost down to final sanding. But what I'm going to do now is shape the back of the neck. Now, I don't know if you can see here, light. I put some lines on here. There's a centre line down the neck. Now the neck's the right thickness, so we don't really want to take that centre line off. And then I've divided that in half both ways and divided the height between the fretboard and the back of the the edge of the fretboard and the back of the neck in half as well. And what we're going to basically do is put a flat down there and a flat down there, so we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sides, and then we'll take the corners off continually. So when we've taken this off, we'll then go down here and do the same there. That'll be about 45 degrees, that'll be about 22 degrees, and we'll have a number of flats that kind of replicate the curve we're trying to get round, and then after that we will sand. So let me just clamp this down. I've been holding it in the vise, but even with soft jaws on, I'm getting some marks on it. So I'm going to try a different way now. The support there, that one there. Okay, series of files and rasps. But I'm going to start with the Japanese saw rasp, but I'm going to use the smooth side because I don't want to take it off too fast here. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little notch in here, just to stop me running into the heel block. Right. This here should protect the neck. Now I'm not taking this all the way. I've not taken this all the way to the lines yet, but I don't know if you can see there, the edges here are staying roughly parallel, which means I'm getting an even curve, and as long as that I've got 2 parallel edges there I'm filing, I'm keeping the neck straight. Time I'm watching my 2 lines that I drew on at the half height because I don't want to go past them. That's too crispy. Now, I don't know if you can see that very well with the light, but my lines are still there, and similar down there, and we've got kind of a 45-degree chamfer on this. So we'll then move to taking the 22 degrees on it. Right, I'm going to repeat that process on the other side now. Okay. It's fairly hard work doing this. Now, I don't know if you can see there with the light, but we've now got a curve to it. Feels a bit high in the middle there, doesn't feel quite right. So I think there's some more to take off here yet, but we're only roughing it out at the moment. But yeah, I've got a ridge down there I need to take off, so we'll have a look at that next. I think that feels about right. It's definitely more of a feel thing than a visual thing. But I think I might take a... don't know. Does feel like there's obviously a little more to come off yet because this is quite a rough surface. We've got to smooth this off. Now, I want to work on this transition here for the neck. So I'm going to put As you can see, it doesn't actually take very long to do this. That's So I've now blended that in to here. That's probably it for what we're doing at the moment. The rest will be done by sanding. Actually, what's a bit more up there? And you can feel the shape rather than see it, unfortunately, so it's not the... I don't know how well it's coming across on camera. Right. We now need to work on this. I've got a lot to do on this, and I've got... Let's try and think. There's a lot more on there than I want. So I'm thinking that line comes down. Sort of like that. Centre line there. So I want to take out kind of this here, so the top there. It's back on here. That one's a little less, yeah, so it's get quite a lot out. we're kind of blending these curves in so that we don't get any hard transitions. Right. I think that's... I want to take a bit more off there. Can't see the top of that. Okay, I don't know if you can see, light seems to be glaring off it a bit, but we've got it blended in there, we've got the rough shape but it blended in there. The next thing is to kind of smooth this off, so I'm going to try and support this so I can get some sandpaper on it. Okay, and then we're going to go Now we'll switch some 120 paper. I don't know if you can hear that, it's absolutely throwing it down outside. Okay, well, you can see that's actually a lot smoother now. We've got to work on this bit. Around there's not so bad, there's a bit to do. We're not absolutely down to the final depth yet. You can see I've still got my line in the centre there, so we've kept the depth. The next stage of this will be the final finishing before we stain it or whatever we do. I'm going to work on this bit next. A bit more clearance with clamps. It's not the same shape there, that needs to come in. Smaller pieces on that now, some offcuts here. Right, well that's really the main part of carving the neck. I need to check, compare it with the body yet. We've got heel caps put on there yet, and all this needs kind of smoothing off. The headstock needs holes drilling, a bit more work on the edges here. That facing off because it's pretty poor at the moment, so we can clean some of that up. Yeah, there's a lot more work to do on it. You can see there's ripples in it from the planing where it's machined, so all they've got to be sanded out. Got a couple of marks in the fretboard I'll have to sand out. And marks there I've got to go. Problem is I'm having problems gripping it in this vise. Everybody else seems to use what's called a pattern maker's vise. Unfortunately I haven't got room for another vise on here, so somebody else I was talking to says you can often feel more whether it's smooth than you can see it and whether the angles look right. Let's get my fingers round and get them onto the frets and things. I think that'll do it for this video. Struggling to think what we actually go on to next. Probably sorting out the fretboard, the headstock, maybe getting that drilled, ready for the tuning machines. We've got some inlay to do, dots on the edges and on there. We've obviously got the frets to put in. I compared with this above the with the body, see if it would go in. The hole I've got for the tuning rod is probably 0.5 millimetre out of where it should be, so I need to widen that up so we can get it back onto the body. Obviously it's got to be attached to the body. We've got the saddle bridge plate to make. So I'm trying to work out how many more episodes there'll be. It's quite a few actually, but it's definitely starting to look a lot more like a guitar than a pile of wood now. And that needs trimming off. This is too long at the moment. It needs trimming off to match the sound hole. So this is going to be quite a short video compared with the recent ones. But I think that's a self-contained thing in itself, shaping that. And I'll work out what we do next.